What Happened This Week podcast. Just two best friends chatting in the trailer about all the things you are thinking about. Because you never know with Kim and Tricia.
Straight out of the trailer.
Hey guys, hope you had another good week. And things are opening up for you. Maybe you're starting to see some peeps, your peeps, you know.
Yeah, I heard that North Carolina is still locked down, and I'm actually going to North Carolina.
When are you going there?
I'm going there July 4th weekend.
Huh.
Yeah, so I wanted to go see my grandmother, and I wanted to see my mom. So Taylor and I are going to fly up there to Asheville, and then we're going to drive to see my grandmother, who's about 45 minutes outside of Asheville. And then we're going to stay there a couple of nights, and then we're going to head to Raleigh. It's about a 4-hour drive to my mom's house, and then fly back home out of Raleigh.
Does your mom live in Raleigh?
She lives in Willow Springs,
Okay.
which is about 45 minutes outside of Raleigh.
Okay,
so,
cool.
they're good. Like, the cool thing is they're both, 45 minutes away from airports, so it's an easy commute for me, I guess. Yeah. So, but North Carolina's shut down, and see, me and Taylor were thinking about driving there because with the whole Corona thing, getting on an airplane, I'm not a big fan of it. I'll tell you what, tickets, super cheap.
Oh, I bet.
So, round trip, well, it's really 2 one-ways.
Right.
$200.
Nice.
Which is
what airline are you flying?
Going there to Asheville, taking American Airlines, and then from home, I'm taking Delta.
Nice.
So, it was, I was shocked how cheap it was.
Yeah.
But I thought about driving. But the concern is that everything is shut down. I told Taylor, they're not shutting down the gas stations in North Carolina. It's a 12-hour drive.
Yeah.
Then to have to get back, stay 2 nights, and then we would just be cutting into our time that we're going to be there. So I was a little afraid that, flying. So I'm taking the chances. I'll wear the mask, wear the gloves. Hopefully this Corona thing will be over with. I don't know how many people are leaving from here. But then again, I could probably come in contact with someone who's going to have a layover and to go to New York or come home from New York. Who knows? So, but yeah, so North Carolina's still shut down.
That's crazy.
So is California, I think, too, right?
Yeah, like L.A.
L.A.
Yeah, so it's crazy that you talked about your watering hole and the dishwasher there had it. It's like the one position too, right?
know.
Like okay, maybe my server will be okay. Like they washed their hands, they had like their mask on, but like the dishwasher's giving me the clean plate.
I know.
Well,
it had come out because you have these Facebook community
Yes.
groups and things, and somebody posted it in like the Hope Sound happenings page, and then everyone pretty much jumped on the person.
Yeah.
And has this confirmed? How do you know? Is this just hearsay? Because being in a small town, you come out saying something like that, you better have evidence to back it up, because that could really be detrimental to a business. And so then the next day, Scooters came out and posted on their Facebook that they explained the situation.
Yeah.
Yes, that they had someone tested positive, and so it's kind of crazy because we had went there.
Yeah, that's why
2
Jamie
weeks
was like,
ago.
you need to let Kim know. I know her and James go there. I heard it on the podcast. She said
We hadn't been back since that one
Yeah.
time. But yeah, I was like, well, it kind of makes sense. They said that the other night it was a packed house, because I think now we're at 50%
Right.
capacity. I think.
I don't know.
That's
I
what
haven't
it
been
is.
out yet.
Oh, that's right. You haven't been out. I don't know. We haven't either, so I haven't really gone unless I'm doing takeout or something.
Right.
Scooters was the one time that we went out. So, but I think they're like up to 50% capacity. I know that bars are not allowed to open unless they sell 50% of food.
right.
So that's I know that's what they're doing there. So I've got gift cards to go to Carrabba's. I want to go to
I got a
Carrabba's.
bunch of gift cards for places, and like one of them is like, it's not a chain. I got it for Christmas from my mom to the Gaffer downtown, and I pray that they continue to stay open, or like that they don't fall to this whole it's a big thing for these restaurants, because I didn't want to use it because I was pregnant, and the Gafford is a really great place for happy hour, so I've been holding on to this gift card for after the baby. So please, the Gafford. I hear they're doing really well now, so
That's good.
and like people are back and whatnot, but that's a small restaurant in the scheme of chain restaurants and things like that.
Right, and it's hard for them because they don't have they have pretty good seating, but when you have to do the whole seating and you're not allowed to have as many people
It's not
in
that
there.
big, so
Yeah.
you're sitting on top of each other,
Right.
on a busy night on a Saturday. So I just hopefully they are able to make it through all the way.
That's why I say with my Carrabba gift cards, and I have an Outback gift card, I don't want to just use it on takeout. I want
Right.
the full experience.
Exactly.
Right?
I am going out.
And I'm gonna get dressed up.
Exactly.
I went to on Friday. I went to out in the field. Or not in the field. I went to my office for work, and I've got the antibodies test.
Okay.
So I'll know in 3 to 5 days whether or
Right.
not I've had it or if I have the antibodies. And Taylor, I come out of the bedroom, she goes, wow, because I dressed up. I mean, I'm just going to that one office.
Right.
And you get your temperature checked. They do all this stuff to make sure before they let anyone in there. I mean, cancer patients are very compromised already. So I felt safe going there. But she's like, look at you. You wearing heels. I'm like, girl, I'm dressing up for the occasion. I don't get to do this often. So I am putting on I did my hair, my makeup. So I just got my antibodies test and came home.
Exactly.
But I am going to go out on tomorrow. Actually, I have a pretty busy day. I'm going to go up to Vero. So what's interesting enough is that as Martin County is kind of slow to reopen, and a lot of certain things, doctors' offices and things, they're doing elective surgeries now in the hospital, but they're still slow to get on the schedule. People are still reluctant. Vero, Sebastian, free for all. Come on by. So
party.
Yeah, so they've had less cases up there, so I think that's why they're not as worried about it. So hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll get more into the swing of things and I'll be able to get back into the field, at least maybe a part-time basis, part-time at home and going out there. But if I don't feel comfortable with the environment that I'm walking into, I'm calling ahead. I'm trying to just limit myself to one doctor offices, not a huge practice, because then there's less exposure. So I'm just trying to be mindful and respectful of all of that. So I'm hoping in the next few weeks to be able to get out there and to go be a human again, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I go to the doctor twice a week now. So they take your temperature as soon as you get off the elevator before you even get in the door. They're sitting in the foyer there. And then they ask you questions, and then you go in, you have to have your own pen to sign in, which is fine. I always do. You have to have a mask, and then it used to only be OB patients, and they have opened it up to some of their other patients now, but still 6 feet apart. And then they used to have 2 check-in desks and 2 check-out desks. It's a big practice, and it's only down to 1, so they have minimal staff as well. And I was checking out, and then I was going to leave, and I'm trying to open the door with my elbow. And one of the doctors came up and he's like, oh, I got it for you, and he opened it for me. It was really sweet. I mean, this is not a nurse, not a midwife. Actually, I've only met him once, and I was like, it's really nice of him,
I think they get it. It's the world that we're in, and they're definitely trying to limit, even with Bass Pro Shop. We went there quickly yesterday, and you go through, but they had gotten broken into.
Really?
Did you hear about that? It's a year ago, and I can't believe they haven't fixed it yet. Their exit is all boarded up.
What?
There was a theft. They went in there and they broke in there to steal guns.
I did not know that.
They
haven't fixed it yet?
It's been a year ago, and I'm like, we walked in there. I'm like, geez, James, they haven't fixed this yet.
Maybe it got broken again.
I don't know. I mean, it's boarded up from the outside and then boarded up from the inside. It's as if they're maybe they decided not to fix it. I don't know. But you had to actually go out the way you came in, which is not really safe because you can come in contact. I don't know. I don't understand that whole thing. But anyways, yeah. And then you get the grocery stores one way this way. That's how our Publixes are. And it's like, oops. If you feel like you made a wrong U-turn or something.
You're going down one-way road.
You know what I do? I'll back it up in there, too. If you can't go down one way, I'll just turn my car right and I'll back it in there if I have to.
Exactly. I'm going to say... Oh, swim. Reagan Swim starts this week again.
Oh, nice.
So, but they have one way in, you'll enter on from one way, and everyone exits from the other way, so they don't come in people. The chairs are all set 6 feet apart. There's also outside seating because they're the whole glass and windows and stuff. And then in Reagan's class, there's only 2 kids in the class anyway with the instructor.
Yeah.
So, they called this week. Is Reagan going to start back? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay, good. Allison's dad wanted to know if she was coming or whatever because they do well together. And I was like, yeah. I mean, it's only those 2 and Miss Tracy.
Right.
So I probably won't go on Wednesday, just because I shouldn't be there. So Jason will take her.
Right.
So.
Yeah. You're probably best if you don't.
So.
And I started back. Well, I started back at the gym 2 weeks ago, and that's how we have our square. We work out in our square. Still working out in our square, so I'm starting tomorrow. I'm doing a cleansing.
Oh wow!
A 3-day cleansing. It's a reboot.
Oh boy, what kind of do you have do you have to only drink food?
So it's pretty much a vegetarian diet. So no meat.
Well, you got the food for that.
I do have the food for that. Girl, that stuff is freezer burnt. I had to throw it out because now I told James and Taylor I'm not going to the grocery store.
Right.
We have to eat what's left and get creative. I'm not creative as it is, so we're just eating whatever. But I threw away the plant-based stuff. It was freezer burnt, and I'm pretty sure that does not last. It does not need to make the transfer to the camper.
Okay.
Because the camper's freezer is very small, and that's
Right.
the last thing I want to put in there.
Exactly.
And I wasn't going to cook it just to eat it. But it's like an actual program. It's a 3-day program. Drink a lot of water, veggies, fruits, coconut oil or almond, avocado oils, things like that. So I actually made, which I was really proud of myself that I did this. It's butternut squash soup.
Okay.
So have you ever had to skin a butternut squash?
No.
Oh, me neither. First time. First of all, I didn't even know what it looked like. I had to Google it.
I know what they look like.
Okay, I didn't know what
Okay.
they look like. I went to Aldi's yesterday after the gym because I wanted to see if they had anything. They didn't have anything. Walked in there really quickly, nothing. So I was like, where am I going to get butternut squash? And I know, I didn't know if any of the produce stands would have it.
Right.
So Publix had it. And you have to skin it and then cut it into pieces and roast it and then put it in a blender to make your soup. It's a process.
Oh, it sounds like it.
Why I don't like cooking.
No.
Because cooking always involves cleanup and but I cut up it was to try to skin a butternut, I can't even say it right, butternut squash. It's very intense. Way harder than a potato, times 10.
Gotcha. So
So I had to skin that, cut it all up. So now I have this soup that I can have. So, it's just one of many things you can have. So I want to make it easy and eat the same thing for the next 3 days.
Right, it's only 3 days.
It's only 3 days. I can do anything in 3 days. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. Not really, but we'll see how that goes. It's just cleansing the soul and doing a reboot and maybe resetting my body. I don't know. I've been feeling pretty good. I've been working out, and so sweating and, feeling good. So I figured, you know what? I'm moving into the camper. I'm going to have a very limited amount of space for food. And it's going to be a different lifestyle because we are going to be in such close quarters that I feel like I just need to kind of be out with the old.
There ain't no
with the
sneaking
new.
food in there, right?
There ain't no sneaking food in there.
You hear that rapper anywhere.
Easily. We were packing up. We're still packing up, and we have Taylor has a Wii, a full-on brand new Wii in a box. And James is like, we're bringing that to the camper. I said, first of all, a Wii is very intense. And every move we make, I think the camper next to us will hear us. If we're trying to do bowling or doing tennis, I don't think that Wii is probably the safest thing to bring. So, needless to say, right now he's putting it into the storage unit. Because I just, I'll pay we can do a pack of cards or Uno or something. I just feel like Wii would be pretty intense for the small.
Y'all be doing Just Dance. James on a couple Tito's doing he'd be breakdancing. You're it's not even in the move.
No, exactly. Well, he said today when I was leaving, he's like, so what are you guys going to talk about today? I'm like, you're my favorite subject. Because you just make it so easy, honey. What can I tell you? But, yeah, so.
Did you see that on the Facebook post your dad posted? See? You thought you got your not wanting to be late because your mom was late and how that felt, but ideally you probably got that idea of not being late from your dad.
Yes, and I actually remember years ago us having a conversation about that. So he doesn't like to be late. Yeah. So it's kind of that must have been a gene that I inherited.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I saw that. I was like, that's probably why, and that's why Taylor's not late, and
I thought that was cute.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting too.
Yeah, that's why I met it back. I was like, well, that's where she gets it from.
That's where I got my love of. Well, it's kind of I didn't know that. I think I inherited the gene too for the Dallas Cowboys because even though he isn't the reason I like the Dallas Cowboys, but once we reunited, I found out that he was a huge Dallas Cowboys fan,
there you go.
And I am a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, so it just kind of made sense. So I think that was a gene. I don't know if you can inherit a sports team gene, maybe.
I guess. If you look into that, I could do a study on y'all.
Yeah. That reminds me, I gotta look and see, what are they gonna do with sports?
Well, a lot of it, I honestly don't really understand why they haven't played a bunch of it. Did you watch the golf thing with Tiger and them? That was really good. It was
Saw the blimp, because it was in Hope Sound.
Oh, yeah. The poor guys. It poured on them the whole time. But, they're talking about maybe, basketball at, Disney's World of Sports up there, because they have all the courts and they can, quarantine them and then do it, and then all of it, baseball, all of it. Why don't you just quarantine all the teams?
Right.
I get it. It sucks. While you're playing, you're not gonna be able to go home and see your family. But most make quite a bit of money. I think you could.
Sure.
You could shorten your season.
Right.
Play them quicker. If you're at a facility like the World of Sports, no one has to travel on a plane to get to the next venue to play.
Right.
So stuff like that, I don't understand why they wouldn't.
Because there hasn't been any talk about, I mean, what they're doing. I mean, I was watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Mm-hmm. There was nobody in the stands.
Yeah.
There's no audience watching the game.
And it's a celebrity, and they're doing it for charity. Like, they're not, like, regular people. But Jason was telling me something about, like, the contract negotiations. I don't know, maybe it was baseball. I'm not sure. Baseball, basketball, one of them, hockey, I don't know. But the owners and the players' unions had made an agreement on pay. And then the owner's like, no, that's not going to work. So original agreement was something like they were just basically paid on what they played. It's a prorated portion of the season. And
Makes
there's like, that's just, no. And owners wanted to cut it back from that. And I was like, that's kind of crappy. Like, if they're playing, you should pay them.
Right.
You know, like.
But are they thinking because there's no games, they're not the profits that they would make from merchandise and the game tickets and the food, like all of that's probably taken into consideration. And they're saying,
but I mean, like, for them, like, that seemed like the fairest way to do it. If the players are even agreeing to it, like, all right, it's a prorated portion. Whatever we play for the season is what we're getting paid on.
Right.
Because you can still buy baseball merchandise right now, and
sure,
the owners could still get paid on it.
Right.
You know, I mean, I bought Braves gear for the baby.
Right.
You know,
I guess you look at it in the masses, though. If you're at a game,
I know, like you're at games and things like that. You know,
different.
but still, like it just seemed like the fairest compromise,
right.
And like would it be like, well, nope, sorry, that's not going to work.
Well, NASCAR's still running.
Yep.
Because, I mean, and granted, I mean, while the good thing about NASCAR is while you're watching TV, all of that advertising is going right by you.
Right.
So it's a little different, you know. But they don't have people in the stands.
No.
You know. But I wonder what football's going to look like.
I mean, like, some of these things, like, that didn't make sense to me, like tennis, golf.
Tennis is so boring.
Yeah, people love tennis.
Golf.
Well, I will tell you, we went to the Miami Open last year, the year before. It was fun. Like, the experience was fun. It's not my style, but the experience was fun. But, like, sports like that where it's not, like, a contact sport, like, football is a straight-up contact sport.
Right.
Basketball is a contact sport. Like,
right.
You know, hockey, like, those ones I can see having a harder time just trying to figure out, forget fans, like, players are this close to each other. Yeah, you know, like, you'd have to quarantine them the entire time.
Right.
That they were playing.
Sure.
You know, and I don't think it's too much to ask, especially if you're going to condense the season.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting because, I mean, we're in June.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow's June 1st. Can't believe it's almost June.
Mm-hmm.
And then season starts, like, you know, September, October. So it'll be interesting to see how all of that, you know, shakes out.
Well, we had our spring training tickets for this year. If we got them, Jason's mom got them for his birthday. And obviously the game got canceled. All Major League Baseball shut down. And so she's trying to get her money back. And the guy was like, no, the event's not canceled. They might still play it. They're going to... Major League Baseball is going to play a preseason game, a spring training game. No, if they start playing games, like they're going to make money. Spring training means nothing to them. There's no money being made in spring training. They need to make the money now.
Right.
And so then I was going through my emails cleaning it out, and I found actually where it said your event has been canceled from like right after when they canceled it, and like, you know, you're getting a refund. So I sent that to Jason's mom, and she called them, and you know what, they gave us a credit. Who do we know? When do we know if anything's going to happen anytime soon? A, that we want to see, or B, that we feel safe enough going to.
So interesting you say that because Taylor is part of the Youth and Government at the Y. It's a program that's done at the Y. And so between her dad and I, we paid $400 for her to go to, she was supposed to go to Tallahassee. And they were going to have, it's a 2-day debate program they were going to do. And she already had went in the fall of last year, so this would have been the springtime. They canceled it.
Right.
So we got an email telling us we have a $400 credit at the Y. So Joe was like, you need to work on getting that refunded back. I said, well, you know what? I said, if you want to go take up some archery or if you want some swim lessons, go for it. But because it's a separate program, it's kind of I don't want to say a volunteer kind of thing, but it is something similar to that. So she may go next year, and we can use that. But that's $400.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money to tell someone you're going to give them a credit.
Especially, like, if you don't want, like, you already go to a gym. Like, you're not going to be like, oh, okay, well, you know what, maybe I'll join the gym there then. Perfect. I have free money sitting there at this point. I already spent it, you know? Or you have other children that eventually are going to play, like, soccer there, or do gymnastics, or go to school there, or whatever. But that's a lot to ask somebody to hold their money like that.
I know. So I haven't really pursued it too much. You know, because her intentions are to go next year. So I feel like, all right, that's, as long as I'm getting not getting interest. I wish I was.
Right.
But I was like, okay, I'm not going to push the envelope too much.
No,
they ended up doing it virtual, you know, sitting in their rooms, you know, but it was just, I couldn't believe that they just offered a credit. That was kind of crazy to me.
Well, you know, we bought Disney on Ice tickets for Reagan a long time ago, and it was supposed to be in March that we took her down to BB&T, and obviously it's been postponed. So they won't give us our money back, credit, nothing.
Because the key word is postponed.
Well, see, a lot of the other events for Disney on Ice have been canceled, right? And so it was like $300. We have like $350 sitting out like for this event because it was like a bunch of us going. It was us four, me, Jason, Gavin, Reagan, and then Mimi and Grandpa were coming. So it was like $350 in tickets. Jason told me that, like, with Ticketmasters, that money's already gone. So when they take your money for this event, they've already spent it for the next event.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well,
so
Taylor,
that's why they can't refund it. They don't have it.
Right. Taylor and I and Kelly are going to Luke Combs' concert at the BB&T in November. So I'm kind of, like, waiting to see what happens with that, but the same concept. And I guess with the way that the state of emergency was listed, if any event was canceled, they're required to refund you.
Yeah,
but if it's postponed, they are not.
Yeah, and here's my thing is that, so what happens when you reschedule it? Like, the date in March worked for me.
Right.
I don't know if the date in, you know, December is going to work for me. And at that point, we have a baby. Like, I can't bring the baby down there. The baby's not going to have a good time at Disney on Ice. And Jason's family is coming with us, so who's going to watch the baby? So now it's like, is this even going to work for us?
So I wonder if maybe once that gets established,
if it doesn't work for you, then you can get your money back.
Or maybe they'll give you a credit for the next event.
I can't wait.
I think it's just things are just so fluidly changing, and I just don't think that people, you know, what do you do? How do you forecast? I think the malls are starting to open up, but are they, you know, they're not at full capacity, right. Or, you know, I think people just don't really know what to do. So it just. And
I get it. I mean, like a company like Ticketmaster, refunding all of that money could put them out of business. I get it. Like, fortunately for us, $350 is not going to make or break our family. We had already spent it.
Right.
We had already spent it for entertainment. We had already put it in the entertainment budget. Yes, we didn't get our entertainment, but we're not hurting for our Disney on Ice. You know?
Just put Reagan in a Mickey Mouse costume, and that'll be your entertainment for the week or for the day.
It actually worked out well because, like, there were some characters there that she hadn't known yet, and now she's watched those movies, so whatever. And if worse comes to worse, like, because it was scheduled the same day as Christine's wedding, and so we were gonna, like, go down there, come back, like, leave, like, one of our cars at Cracker Barrel, and then Jason's parents would take Reagan home with them, and we'd come meet y'all and then go to the wedding because it was at like 10 a.m. And then Jason's mom's like, well, I mean, y'all don't have to go, like, we'll take the kids. And then since we'd have 2 extra tickets because Jason and I are coming, she'd bring, like, Weston and Paige. So at the end of the day, if for some reason, like, we don't go, and then she takes Weston and Paige and Gavin and Reagan, so I mean, I'd love to see Reagan's face as, you know, her favorite people come out there.
Right.
You know.
But still, at least she'll
get
to go.
It.
She'll go.
I said Amy takes a lot of pictures, so.
Yes, lots of pictures.
I'll relive it.
So you'll definitely.
That's how I got my Shutterfly thing done for 2020.
Did you? Did they send you the book?
Well, no. I mean, the book's not done because it's only June.
Gotcha.
So, but I'm up to June.
Nice.
So now I can just add them on.
That's what I need to do. I found so many photos. I put photos in the most randomest places. I don't know where. And so I have all of these. I have, like, you know, as I'm moving stuff, I need to sit down, and that would be, actually, you know, it's probably something I should do when I'm in the camper because I'll have a lot of time on my hands, but then I will have a lot of room, and I'll have, like, boxes and boxes of photos.
I went backwards only because it was less overwhelming.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because you lose time. Like, you know, were they 2? What year was this? Yeah. Like, if it's fresh in your mind, it's easier to start and then work your way back.
But this is expensive. You know how, so it's only June. I got another 6 months, and I'm having a baby. Like, there's going to be a lot of photos coming up, right?
for sure.
How expensive my book is right now?
$200?
$178.
I believe it. I can make you a scrapbook for $50.
So sometimes
I'll do the little, I'll do the little, what do you call it? The little quotes above the head?
Yes.
The stickers?
So I go back to, like, a lot of them. There are a lot of photos from our ski trip in there. And then I'm like, should I just make out its own book? But I'm like, nope, it's already in here. I ain't taking it out. But I'm like, all right, does anyone really care what they look like coming down the mountain? So I put a bunch of those on one page. Like, and it's, okay, whatever. I knew what everybody wore. I can tell who that is.
You know, when you're looking at photos now at our age, while it's meaningful,
Yeah.
you know when it really means something?
Yeah.
When you're like 90.
Exactly.
You know, because you're going to look at, you know, and I see looking at photos or watching movies with, you know, your elders and your family, their reaction and their like memory of that memory, you know, that's when it's really means something.
Yes.
To us, it's like you said, like probably not the mountain thing, probably not, but I guarantee you at like 90, it might be a big deal for you
Well, I
to
made
see
sure
them.
that,
So
like,
at least you had it in there.
they're all in there, but like a beautiful picture of Jason and Reagan, or a beautiful picture of Jason and Gavin, or just Gavin, like, because I wasn't on the slope, so they like got their own page. There's like a really good picture of Gavin and I, like, you know, like those are telling a story of where we are. For us, you know, they would get their own page as to where the same photo of you coming down the mountain just skiing
Right.
goes with the other ones.
Right. That's all right to stick it in there.
Yeah.
You know, especially back in the day when you used to take all the photos on those little throwaway cameras.
Yes.
And you just snap.
And hope they came out okay.
And you turn it in and it's like, you think there's 48 photos and you get 20
Yeah.
back.
Yes.
I'd like to be that guy. The one that gets, well, not anymore. I think it's completely different. Well,
Yeah.
I think Walgreens is still doing with that.
Yeah, they still do photos.
They still do photos.
Yeah.
But I'd like to be that guy who, you know, was the one looking at the photos. You know, because I'm sure you saw some risque stuff.
You have to decide when
I
you-
want to interview him. We
Yeah.
should bring him or her on. We got to find this person.
You had to decide when you turned it in if you wanted doubles. You had no idea what you're getting doubles of.
And you were paying extra money for
Yes,
it, and you didn't know.
You had to decide, right? But you were like, oh no, like, you know, my girlfriend, we need doubles because we both need a set of this.
Right.
And it's like a picture of the TV that got snapped or something ridiculous. Like,
I
great.
did. I remember I was like probably 4th, 5th grade or so. I got one of those the long cameras with the,
Yes.
what is it, was it the 110, I think?
Yeah, it
With
had like the spirally
spiral thing. You open up the case
yes.
and you sat it in there and you
Yes.
closed it back. And you
And
would
you
turn
went,
that in. Yep,
yeah.
exactly. And you click. You get, I don't know what, you could get 16, 48, 24 pictures.
Right.
I would just snap the heck out of some stuff for no reason.
Yeah.
I'd like to find those photos.
Exactly.
I would like to find those photos and go back. I'd probably have my sister and I doing some silly, goofy stuff. But those, I was like, I thought I was going to be an inspiring photographer.
Yes, yeah, like a
It's-
picture of like a butterfly on a flower. Like, it's the worst
But
photo.
now, like, it's completely different the way you can stage it. I mean, you have
Oh,
filters.
yeah.
You can add
Lights,
a butterfly
yes.
in the photo with you. You don't even
Exactly.
have to be that guy taking that photo.
You don't have to be in nature.
No. Have you gotten on the TikTok hole yet?
No, I don't. I only go on there and check and see what Gab's doing, and
Oh my gosh.
know.
You'll get sucked in, and it's really hard to get out of the TikTok hole. It really is. I see all these kids, and there's this one guy. His name is Gary V. Interesting character. He's an older guy, probably in his 50s. He about our age, so he's not that old. He is almost every parent's nightmare, but every kid's dream.
Gotcha.
This guy motivates kids to take up their dreams, become TikTok famous, become Instagram. Like, he's all about social media. So he had this 12-hour on last Wednesday he was on TikTok for 12 hours straight, and he interviewed all of these kids that were TikTok famous. These people some of these kids had 100 million viewers or likes.
Right.
Or,
Jeez
you know, I
Louise.
mean, just an insanely
Right.
amount, right? And so he was just interviewing them, and he was follow your dreams, move to LA, you know, like leave your mom and dad's
Yeah.
house. Like, he is every kid's dream. Like 18, 19-year-old,
Yeah.
he's like their Trent Shelton, right? Like,
Right,
the way he
yeah.
motivates them. And I'm like, oh my God, if my kid was listening to this, I
Yeah.
would just like,
You're
know.
TikTok famous.
But I couldn't help but not watch him. And then he collected over $1 million for food for the family.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was part of it. But I didn't realize the magnitude of TikTok. I mean, I didn't watch him 12 hours straight.
Right.
You know, but I would cut in every now and then on a live. And I was like, I couldn't believe some of these kids just made a video of them and their mom doing a silly dance. And then it just went viral. And now these kids are banking. They actually have houses in LA where there's investors involved, but they actually will put up kids that are Instagram and TikTok famous to house them there. Like, not like a real world, but they will
Right.
room and board because they're going to promote the heck out of these kids and get a piece of the pie. I mean, they have these houses that are set up all over LA where it's like you're going to go start your dream and you can't afford to live in LA
Right.
on your own, so you go rent a room, or not even rent a room, they will put you up in a room. And I'm like, wow, I didn't
crazy.
realize how much. I
Seems
mean,
a
we
little
thought
exploitive.
I would think so, but some of these kids are creative and they're doing what they're doing. It's kind of like the YouTube I thought was important, big, right? I was actually at Walmart, what was it, like 3 weeks ago? I had to get moving boxes. This woman walked up to me randomly and asked me if I'd follow her on YouTube. She said she did makeup.
Are you serious?
I have to tell you. I was like, first of all, I was in my gym outfit, okay?
Was she insulting you? Was she?
I thought she was at first. I was actually covering up my wallet because I thought she was trying to distract me.
Right.
To take my money. I was like, I had my wallet clenched in underneath.
Did you find her on YouTube?
She made me pull it
Are
up.
you serious?
She made me pull it up. She was like, it is something, it was blessed something. She's like, you have to put the space. If you do it together, it'll be somebody else.
Are you're just that approachable? Like, no one's asked me that, so I have resting bitch face, so it's fine. But
this is her. It's
okay.
Palms Beauty. Palms and such is like the Bible verse. But yeah, so she does makeup tutorials. So
how many followers does she have?
You know what? I don't know. I guess I could look to see.
Yeah, like go to her page.
158 subscribers.
Oh, good for her. We
So
only got like 10.
She's working it. She's
you
working.
need to go to Walmart and start working our page,
I thought
girl.
about it. I said, I told Taylor I came home and I told her about this lady that approached me at the Walmart for the YouTube. She's like, "That's kind of ballsy, don't you think?" I'm like, you know what? It's actually genius.
Did you turn it around on her and be like, "That's fine, but you got to put my podcast"?
I was still worried about her taking my money. Because I had my wallet and I shouldn't have had it, but I had it in like the
cart.
Where you put the cart, the kid.
Girl, you're not supposed
So
to.
I quickly put that up there, and I was I was down the box aisle, the
Right.
office supply aisle. Why she came down that aisle, I do not know. And so she asked me to follow her, and she does makeup tutorials, and I'm like thinking to myself, I am hot and sweaty. I am like a fat cow in my workup get out, and it's tight, not because I want it to be tight, because I have no clothes that fit. So I am like, do I look like someone who wears makeup? Okay.
Yeah.
Not even on my best day did I look like it. So she had to be really, ballsy to approach me about it, right? But and then she said, not only do you have to follow me, but you have to hit the bell. So there's a bell so that anytime she drops a new video, I get the automatic download. So just like with our podcast, right? If you you can listen to the podcast, but if you don't subscribe, you don't get the next download in your feed, right? So she's like figured that out. So we even went one step above that little bell.
Man,
who knew?
I
was like, oh my gosh, I thought it was.
That has never happened to me.
No. How often do you go to Walmart? You got to go to Walmart.
You know why that's so funny that you say that? Because I'm thinking about like the podcast and like. Obviously, we've been struggling. We struggled a little bit when it came to not being in person. Like, it was definitely a little harder, We've been struggling because people don't listen to podcasts nearly as much right now. Right. And the content in general, because we don't do anything.
Right.
Like, it was hard enough when I didn't drink before. So we had this whole, like, one of our ideas was going to be stories of the DD. Well, I ain't got no stories because I didn't drive anybody anywhere.
Right.
So I don't have any stories of the DD. Like, I don't have, like... I had a couple from the beginning, like, I guess we could cover those, but I don't know how fun that is. But it was going to be, like, this whole, like, ongoing saga of stories of the DD, and it's just because of everything's been put to a halt, like, a lot of our content has been the same way. Like, we've got stories to tell or, like, crazy things that could have happened, because we didn't get to go anywhere.
That's right. Well, don't worry, I always keep you entertained, because something randomly happened.
Lady at Walmart, apparently.
So the random
YouTube channel.
If it's gonna happen, it happens to me.
100%.
I don't understand. I don't know if I think it's what your aura, like what you put out there in the universe, you get back. So maybe I just put out the weirdness, and it comes back to me.
Do you think someone's ever gone home from Walmart and be like, this lady came up to me and they were talking about you? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. Isn't that crazy though? But I guess when you think. Definitely thinking outside your comfort zone in your box.
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely rocked it for sure, and she gave no cares.
You ever tell you that story about Jason's mom at Walmart? Her and Aunt Brenda went there, and she's like, they had separated to go get whatever they needed. They had been at, like, onto the movies or something. They had to go home. Sure, Mimi probably had to get milk for Reagan. Is probably what she had to pick up, but they had separated to get their things, and they were going to meet back up at the car. Mimi sees this lady dressed like Ugg boots, like Daisy Dukes, like straight up like picture of someone like sends on the web with Walmart people. She calls Aunt Brenda. She's like, "You got to see this lady." And she's like, Aunt Brenda's like, "No, you got to see this guy. So they're in 2 different places in the store, and there's 2 different people, and then come to find out those 2 people were together.
Were they really?
Yes.
They don't care. They don't care what people don't care. Well, I'll dress for Walmart differently than I'll dress if I'm going to Target.
I would wear like something like this to Walmart. My yoga pants and this shirt and my flip-flops. I don't care. At Publix, I put pants on, real pants.
Winn-Dixie, I don't care. I'll wear whatever. I'll wear my holy shorts if I have to. I will consciously make sure I go to Walmart or Winn-Dixie, or I might dress up a little bit for Walmart because it's in town and I might run into people.
Somebody. That is
my
true.
Winn-Dixie in Hobestown. People snub their nobs at Winn-Dixie, people I know, so I don't have to worry about seeing them. Where I'm like, I'm going to go get my BOGOs.
Exactly.
Except I don't like Winn-Dixie's vegetables and fruits. I do snub my nose because they're always on clearance. And I just don't think people that shop at Winn-Dixie and Hobestown are healthy. So I do get better finds of my fruits and veggies at Publix for sure. But my dry goods and all that stuff, and I snub a little bit on the meats at Winn-Dixie because, again, they do have clearance, a quick sale, right? $2 or $3 off. Hey, if it's not brown, it's going down. I'll put it in the cart.
It and put it like in smoothies or something.
Oh, well, you can. Well, yes, or the meats and stuff. Like if I cook it that day, I'm okay.
Right.
You know?
It's not gray yet. We're good.
I don't really know at what point means not good, but if they have, the quick sale and it's like, $5, $6 off, heck yeah, I'm going to pull the trigger on that.
They would have it like the bakery items at Walmart,
They
and they're
still
backed
do.
by like the yogurt. It's like, all right, so how quickly do I need to eat this 12-pack of donuts?
That's right. You just throw it in the microwave. It'll get on stale again, There's nothing wrong with that. That's for sure. I don't think Winn-Dixie does, or Walmart does it on their meats, but I know that they do it. I know Winn-Dixie does it on their meats. So, I go in there and I try to sometimes get their seafood. They have frozen shrimp. That's no different than the frozen shrimp at Publix.
Right.
There's some things that are crossover that it's okay. But the Winn-Dixie, people looking at Winn-Dixie is also a good time as well.
Oh, I bet. Well, we were at, my sister and her husband rented this condo on the beach this last week for their anniversary. And they invited us out. So I went out there a couple days and took Reagan out there. Anyway, somebody else had come to stay, visit them while they were out there on the beach. And she's showing us this picture that she took of this lady at the gas station. She's like, Walmart people? Well, she was at the gas station. So she had on, like, flesh-colored leggings. So at first, my sister's like, she even have pants on?
Oh, my.
Have you seen that before? Like,
No.
someone doing that? Like, the colored leggings are so close to skin color.
That's like Britney Spears when she came out on concert when she was wearing something like that. We thought you didn't think she had clothes on.
Right.
And they're talking about,
And, Britney Spears probably had a rockin' body.
She
but
did.
these, I've seen these women, and they're women. I don't mean to call them out versus men, but they're women wearing these flesh-colored leggings. And it's like, literally, you have to see it outside if you think they have pants on, because, cellulite and a flesh-colored leggings is not hidden, right?
No,
so
no.
it's literally look, this is what this person looks like naked, Right. Anyway, and then she has her belly hanging over the leggings.
Oh my!
Like a deflated belly. Picture me not pregnant, deflated.
You should have seen
belly.
a picture of me.
Wow, a girl does you, we gotta talk. So her belly's hanging over the leggings. She's got a sports bra on, and her shirt is pulled up over her sports bra, just underneath her armpits. And she's pumping gas.
Wow.
I was like, okay, well maybe, she went to the gym, and she's hot. Good for her. She's trying to make this better, right?
I will let that gas light on all the way home to change and not to wear that at the gas station.
I would sweat before I look like that at the gas. I might get the gas, but I sure as heck not having my shirt pulled up over it was pulled her boobies sports bra above her boobs, and then belly hanging out, flesh colored leggings. I was like, maybe she's just hot, and if she has been working out, good for her. She's trying to make it better, but there's still times where seriously, it's a minute and a half.
You know what, though? On the other side of the coin of that, rock it. If you've got the confidence to do that, I wish I did. I wish I had the confidence. That would probably be one of the best satisfying things to have in life, to be able to do that and have no cares and have no worries.
Not at all.
There is this thing called self-respect, right? Yes. I get that. But if I could totally rock that, I would. I wonder what I look like when I'm pumping gas.
Yeah.
Except I have my sports bra, but I have a shirt over it, And I am limited on clothes because I've packed almost everything I own. So I'm like, did I wear this to the gym yesterday? Do they think I washed myself? So I'll have to be a little bit more thoughtful next time I get out of the car when I'm getting gas.
Well, like, we were watching that launch yesterday, the rocket launch on the beach, and we were at the pool, and we went up on the boardwalk there to the beach so we could watch it. And I'm there with my sister, who is, beautiful, has a gorgeous body, whatever, not pregnant, obviously. And she's like, "Oh, you got your tire to cover up?" I was like, "This is the best part about being pregnant."
You ain't got to.
I don't care. Well, you judge me? Judge me. I don't care.
That's right.
I am 9 months pregnant.
That's right.
I'm rocking this body for all it's worth.
You need to do the baby mama dance.
What's the baby mama dance?
The TikTok baby mama dance.
Okay.
And Jason has to do it with you.
All right, I'll look it up.
I'm going to challenge you to the baby mama dance.
Will it help me will it help me have water
I
break?
think it will. There's people doing it in the hospital. I'll send it to you on TikTok. It's baby mama. She's actually rubbing her belly, and you could totally rock that. Okay. The baby mama dance.
Because I didn't care. I rocked my bathing suit in front of people. I did not care. I mean, listen. Yes, my butt is that big right now. My thighs are that big. You can see my cellulite.
You have a reason for that, though.
And I don't. That's why I'm like, this is like it. Like, I'm 3 weeks out from my due date. If I would not have worn my bathing suit up on that boardwalk without a towel if I was 3 weeks into my pregnancy. But now I'm like,
it is what it is.
Whatever. That's what you're looking at, ladies.
You know why I am this way? Yeah. Because I am pregnant.
And they're like, "Oh my god!" Like, and everyone, of course, when you do, because I look like I'm the size of a linebacker playing football.
No, you're not.
Oh my god.
Why do you think that?
Oh, because
you feel that way.
I'm so
bloated,
tight and so full at this point. Like, I'm very fortunate. My family has always been fortunate in the sense that with our genes, we don't carry. Like, if you saw me, like, just, like, from my boobs up, you wouldn't know I was pregnant. You might be like, Tricia put maybe a little bit of weight on, but it's not bad. Like, my arms, my face, like, you wouldn't know I was pregnant.
Right.
So I've been fortunate that way, but it's like, it is so tight, and this baby, like, it feels like he takes his toes and he gets between my ribs and just pulls them apart.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. And so when I went, he's like not sideways, like laterally, but like diagonal. So he goes from the bottom, his head is down.
So he's taking up more space.
And it's like up here in my ribs. And and his butt is here. So, and he's folded over, like his legs and feet are by his face, but oh my heavens. And
how uncomfortable is that?
Oh my god. And his head is bigger, and so I asked him, because he's not down in like my pelvis for delivery, and he should, like, usually by 36 weeks they start, only when it's your first pregnancy though. They said after your first pregnancy sometimes the head doesn't drop until you're ready to deliver, because it already knows what to do, I guess. Right. So I was like, well, is like his head not dropping because it does not gonna fit? Because it's like in the 90th percentile. Whew. And she's like, she's always so sweet. That's a great question, And she's like, no, I think we'll have to like just evaluate it. I'm like, oh my god, like.
Can I get an answer now? Because I need to know whether or not.
We're doing a growth scan this week. I go twice again this week. We're doing a growth scan, and that's when we got to sit down and discuss how he'll be born.
Gotcha, because you may have to do the C-section.
Yeah.
And you know what? If that's the way to go, it's your last baby. And it's maybe what's best for you, because there could be
other complications. I bled a lot after I had Reagan, and it was my midwife was certainly concerned, and like I could see the look in her face, and I was like, okay, so it doesn't bother me nearly as much. It is a beautiful experience to deliver your babies. I get that, but luckily we've already done that, and I mean you do, and in a very vain part of it, you do deliver everything, so you lose a lot of like weight right away.
Right.
So.
That's true. But for the health of the baby and the mother, C-section may be the way to go.
Yes. And they'll tie my tubes. They'll tie my tubes while they're in there.
So there's a pro to that.
I get another day in the hospital.
That's right.
I get another day of my Aflac money.
That's right. That's right. That's true. There's a lot of pros to it. I had the C-section with Taylor, and I'll tell you, she was out in 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like, quick. And I then, the only bad thing I feel was that I was so doped up.
Right.
Because of the epidural, and because I had the epidural, and then I had another epidural, which usually when you have contractions, they give you the upper body.
Right.
They also gave me an epidural for the lower body because they're about to cut my stomach.
Right.
So I had like 2 epidurals in one, so I was like, I didn't have really an emotion. I felt like I was there, but I just was seeing everyone.
Right.
It's very surreal to me. So I wish that I didn't have that part of it.
Because you had been like in labor trying to deliver.
Correct.
And then they
had to, her heart rate dropped, and they thought maybe the cord was around her neck, but it was around her foot when they pulled her out. She came out with the cord around her foot and peeing on the doctor. and just a crying. But that was the concern. So I was like double dosed, and then I got nervous because then I thought, oh my gosh, I can't feel my legs.
Right.
So that got a little concern for me. And you are in the OR recovering because they cut your stomach. It's major surgery.
Right.
So there is all of that, versus just
But
popping. But it's fine. It's fine. I'd do it again. No, but I mean, there is. That's the good thing is that
right.
I mean, when you schedule your C-section, you schedule at 6:00. He's out at 6:05.
Yeah, no.
So you can
I can go there with my hair done and my makeup
oh my
on.
God.
And my pictures will look good. It's like this hot, sweaty mess.
See, that's the pro to it. You can get a photographer in there, a professional photographer. I'll never forget. I remember I probably was, oh my gosh, 10 or 11 years old, and one of my mom's friends from church had a baby. She was always a very beautiful woman. She was always well put together, hair and makeup. I just thought she was just such a beautiful woman. So we went to see her after the baby was born. And it must have been, I don't know, 10, 12 years old. I didn't really understand the time, but maybe 6 to 8 hours after she had the baby.
Right.
It was fairly recent. She still looked amazing.
Yeah.
She looked like not a hair in place. I didn't understand. I'm thinking, from the movies, this is not a good experience. They look hot and sweaty. They're
right. Yeah.
I'm like, how did that happen? And it always stayed with me. And I remember leaving the hospital with my mom, and I said, geez, Mom, she just always has her, even during childbirth, she
got
had it together. She's like, well, she had a C-section. And I never, once I had Taylor, I said, and she had a scheduled C-section.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like an emergency
right.
C-section. So she went, that woman woke up, did her hair, had the curlers in her hair,
exactly.
had her makeup done, and said, I'm going to look good.
Because I think about that, I'll take a shower and blow dry my hair, because even if my hair's in a ponytail, and I go the labor in a ponytail, if it's been blow dried, it's a much better pony. The look of this looks better.
Yeah.
So
you could totally plan this out. You could totally plan this out, and then what you're going to have your meals and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because Jason gets meals too, so.
And I'll bring you a sub, but I'll have to make sure I bring it from the right.
You're not allowed to come in.
Well, I can send it up, can't I? Jason
That's
come down and get it?
Jason's like, are we allowed to order Jimmy John's for you? They
Probably
deliver
not.
it? And he's like, I don't know. So I don't know if they'll let anything.
What I can do is I can go, because they probably won't allow Grubhub or anybody come into so what I can do is even just meet Jason in the parking lot, brown bag it, not looking conspicuous. We can do something so it doesn't look like what's inside the bag. That's what I did when I snuck Big Macs into the hospital for someone who had a heart attack.
Oh, God.
Probably the last thing they needed.
Right.
It was my stepdad, so I really wasn't too worried about it.
You brought him 4 or 5.
I did. I brought him 2 and Snickers, and I threw him in I was very conspicuous about, you didn't know what it was, because you're not allowed to have that kind of food, especially after a heart attack.
Right.
But I can meet Jason in the parking lot, and we could do the exchange.
Yeah, he's not allowed in the parking lot, but you meet him on the lobby. He stays on his side, you stay on yours.
Well, then they'll know what I'm giving them. They can't see the handoff.
Yeah, they might not care about that. The people that check you in, they're like volunteers.
Well,
they're not on the maternity ward.
No, but because they are usually they're older, and they're usually by the book. They're not always.
Excuse me, what's in the bag?
They're not always that friendly either.
No.
They probably won't care, but it depends on who you get. So it'd probably be best to just do the switch off in the parking lot. Just tell them to come down real quick. I got a little surprise.
If it's a scheduled C-section, we're just gonna bring it with us.
That's right.
Put that in a cooler.
That's right.
Put that sub in a cooler.
Won't matter at that point.
I even now I'm like, so if I just eat the sandwich now, would we be okay?
Yes. Just don't eat shellfish. I think you could rock a Jimmy John's or an Ultimate Publix Ultimate or a turkey.
I did have this week, I had, we had BLT, so we had lettuce and tomato left over, and I've been making cheese sandwiches, so I still get mayonnaise and stuff.
Yeah. But
I put the lettuce and tomato on it, and it was not that much missing, the meat. It was okay, it had more, depth to it, so mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, and cheese.
Is that your new sandwich?
I mean, for now. As soon as this baby comes out, no, we're adding meat, but yeah. And I have, the BLT sub from Rippers. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Had that a couple times. We'll pick it up and take it out to them when they're working at the property. So
that worked out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for listening and
listening to us.
Yeah, staying and listening to us. This is our 24th episode.
I know, we're almost at the half-year mark.
I know. So, what is that? That's 6 months that we've been doing this.
Yeah. So our 6-month episode is on my due date.
That's right. That's right, because next week will be our 25th anniversary. 25th episode, whatevs.
And then the 26th is on my actual due date.
That's right. So, I can't believe it's been this long.
I know.
So we're kind of taking this, week by week, day by day. We do have a few in the vault.
Yes.
If in the event that you actually go into labor, the date of recording.
Right.
I think we may have some guests that might join us and kind of stand in. I mean, I can call you.
You're going to fill in my spot. You're going to fill it with Mike.
Oh, no. I can fill it with Mike. They will all be pre-approved guests. Trust me.
And all of a sudden I'll be written out.
No, absolutely not. This is just temporary because you're giving birth to a child and you have to kind of be worried. I don't want you to be focused on having to get the show notes done and everything else. I want you to kind of enjoy your birthing. And I might just say we're going hiatus for a couple of weeks because I don't want to have to do it either.
Yeah.
So we don't know, see how that'll play out. But I know we've had a few people that have inquired about wanting to come on and be a guest. So I think it would be something different. It's recording when we're on the phone is awful. You know what? I maybe if we did like a Zoom, we could see each other. I have a Zoom account, an official Zoom account that I pay for now. So maybe that would be something that we could do, and that would just to check in would be nice. Maybe we could try to do something like that because to see your facial expressions, that's necessary.
I'm looking at you going, are you serious?
I can't believe you just said that.
Or like, this really happened?
I know. And the thing is that whenever we record over the computer, I have to do a lot of more edits.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Because sometimes the audio is, so I spend more time editing than when we're in person because there really isn't a lot of edits that I need to do unless, I get a little loosey-goosey with the curse words, but I've been trying to keep myself in check. But yeah, so we might, maybe we'll do a Zoom. We'll try to figure it out because we are taking this week by week, day by day. And so I have a couple of stand-ins if necessary. They don't know about it.
Okay.
I haven't got him on the calendar or anything. I just know if I have to make a phone call, I know who to call. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.